Alright, this is how it is. When you get in a position of power, you don't want to let it go. People would almost do anything to maintain their position of power. People, the way power works is that people, once they get it, they just don't want to let it go. And power corrupts a lot of times. A lot of times, or really, it's not really power that corrupts, it's just that people are corrupted. And then when they get in positions of power, it just makes it worse. And you see it in the martial arts, but you see it in all over this world, because this world is run by, powerful people. And in the martial arts, you know, when they get to a level of expertise and they call themselves a black belt, or whatever they want to call themselves, a master, a sensei, or whatever title they want to use, that's like a position of power, is a position of authority, and people don't want to let it go. Um, Even in law enforcement, that's a position of power. Becoming a police officer, that's a position of power. And people do not want to let it go. Once they get there, and even if they lose their job, they're not gonna like it. They want to keep that position. But if they lose the job, they lose that power position. You know, and even after they retire, they still want to maintain that position by saying, I'm a retired police officer, and they still want the perks that come along with it. You know, and the government knows the corruption, of power, and that's why the president could only serve 2 terms. There's a maximum of 8 years, is because they don't want a single individual, you know, controlling the entire future of, many generations, or, you know, because if one person's corrupt and then they become a president, and then they hold a term of like 80 years, now you got 80 years of immense struggle, you know, and that's happened in many other countries, where people that are corrupt get to positions of power and they abuse that power. So you see it in the martial arts, people that get to a certain level of development, say they become a black belt at the age of 25, and then now they're age 50, and then they still claim that black belt. And that's something where, if they haven't lived up to the standards of what the black belt is supposed to represent, um, I feel that people should not be able to do that. Um, Even having the right to own and possess a firearm, and to carry a firearm, the concealed carry license, um, you have to renew that every 5 years. It's not forever. So that's a position of power. That's having some power. When you are allowed to own a firearm and carry a firearm. But even that is not forever. If you end up making some stupid decisions in life, and make some poor decisions in life, then that that um they'll take that right away from you. You know, your right to bear arms, they'll take it away from you. Even having the right to drive a car, it's something where you have to demonstrate responsibility. If you have a lot of DUIs, and you're irresponsible, then they're gonna take that right away from you. So power doesn't last forever. I feel that it needs to be adequately maintained, you know, through responsibility, and adequately represented, especially in the martial arts. But there's really nobody to stop somebody from saying, "Oh, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, or I'm a black belt in Aikido, or I'm a black belt in Jeet Kune Do, or I'm a black belt in Krav Maga." There's no one there to stop the people from saying what they want to say. So a lot of the stuff in the martial arts realm, it's fraudulent. A lot of it is just, um, it's silly, and it's a disgrace. You know, but things that could really be, um, things that really have significant meaning, that can, that's harder to distort, and and deceive people. Or when it comes to, like, when the government steps in, and they implement regulations, and they have their own standards, and what they would deem as official and what is not. So when the government comes in and says, hey, there's this state issued the state issued driver's license. It's harder for people to make a fraudulent copy of that. So when you show your driver's license, that's supposed to be something that's representing your responsibility and your capability in driving. All right. And now they're having a concealed carry license, so then they're going to be having a state issued license for that, for people that are allowed to have that. Um, and police officers are still maintained by the government, and who can claim the police, who could drive around with cars with stickers that say police, and wear police vests, and things like that. It's regulated. But when you step into the martial arts, there's no regulations there, and people just say whatever they want to say. And that's one of the biggest problems with the martial arts, and that's why the entire ranking system and structure in itself, it really has no value and doesn't really represent anything. Um, People end up having to just train, through the joy of training. But as far as, like, the ranking is concerned and things like that, as far as what this black belt's supposed to represent, it's been so much, it's been abused so much that it's worthless. It's a disgrace. And what there are, what can be identifiable are, like, things, say a martial artist creates a YouTube channel, um, and they have like 1 million subscribers, and they have like billions of views. That reputation that has been established, um, cannot be represented by a black belt or anything. It's just something that is right before your eyes. This person has managed to build a very successful YouTube channel that people are tuning in. Or the fact of, like, Bruce Lee creating movies in Hollywood and in China that has gained so much attention and praise, and people see with their own eyes what this guy's demonstrating on film, and they respect that, and they give recognition towards that. That's beyond what a black belt could ever represent. Or somebody that opens up an actual commercial business that's governed by the state, and you know not anybody can just open up a business. Like, you need to go through the proper procedures and the guidelines and follow the laws, and you got to get the license to operate the business. That in itself is also another indicator of somebody who has taken his passion from the martial arts beyond just a hobby, but actually has, put forth effort to um, share this art you know, to the public. So there's other ways of assessing, but it really boils down to a lot of it also the interaction with the instructor or the practitioner, and how they represent themselves, and you know what type of level that they've been able to achieve, through their own, hard work. And also what it also boils down to is your instructors and their students, the instructor's students, and what type of level that they've been able to achieve through the help and assistance of this instructor. None of this stuff can really be represented by what people call a black belt. These are things where um, it boils down to what a person can actually do, opposed to what they possess. You know, I mean, when it comes to athletes and basketball players and football players and what they actually do on the court or on the field is of significance. It's not what color jersey that they're wearing. It's more about their performance and demonstration of their hard work and abilities and skills through great amount of practice. So I see that these black belts in the martial arts, it's a disgrace, and they shouldn't even be here. You know, people should be training because they enjoy training and just get the best that they can get. And not have this black belt be a way of like embellishing the ego, decorating the ego. I think that's it's not something that's helping the spiritual growth. It's actually distorting the person's you know development towards the spiritual aspect of the martial arts. And I think it's very similar to the concealed carry, you know, firearms license, where if you do have the license, you're not supposed to show it off to everybody and say, hey, I got this license, or show your gun to everybody. No, concealed carry means concealed carry. You carry the weapon on you, and nobody's supposed to know. Only you know. And that's how it's supposed to be. So when you get to a high level in the martial arts, I feel it to be the same way. You're not supposed to advertise to everybody that, hey, I'm a black belt. No, um, I'm just somebody that trains in the martial arts, and I enjoy my training, and I want to share that joy with you. So if you want to train with me, you're welcome to. But it's not supposed to be used as a way of like saying that, oh, I'm better than you because I'm a black belt and you're a yellow belt. It's just a bunch of nonsense. That's the way that I see it.